All right, we're back. Another episode of AOTP with Corey and Shawn.
That's us.
Yeah, I know. We went political again last time, but hey, how could we not with Biden and his senility on full display for the world to see? This time, normally when we have a rant on this show, it's usually by me because I'm the one who just...
Angry.
Gets angry and tends to just go off about shit. This time, I think Shawn is going to try ranting, and I honestly, I can't wait to see it. First, tell us what your rant is about, and then, by all means, get us started.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Well, I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of with a little bit of disappointment that I have to rant about my generation. Luckily, not for something that people normally rant about, like either politics or random businesses that are failing because millennials are blank, which is usually term for boomers don't know how to adapt to the market. But no, I wanted to complain.
Millennials also are kind of whiny candy asses, too. That's a lot of complaints I know. Generation X, that's a lot of problems we have with them. But you go ahead.
But anyways, no. So it's the middle of summer, which means that the Steam Summer Sale is out, which means that there are a bunch of video games that are on sale for really cheap, and some of them not as cheap, but, it's still a sale. And so a game that's popped out recently, and I've been seeing a lot of people play it, is a game called Slay the Princess. Now, I'll have Casey put in a timestamp because I'm going to spoil the whole game for everybody. So if you haven't played it, hopefully Casey puts in a timestamp. But
if you care what we say about games, tough shit for you.
Well, no, I'm about to spoil the game. So if you were like, I want to play that game, and you listen to like the next however long that I'm talking, it's going to spoil the entire game for you.
I think you're overestimating the concern that people have for our opinions. Go ahead.
Maybe. But anyways, so it's an indie company, so they've got only like a handful of people that work on it. But the whole gist of the game is it's basically a glorified personality test type thing. Like one of those blog post, take this personality quiz, find out what type of toast that you are.
Yeah, which are always so much fun.
Mm-hmm. That's why you do them all the time. I always see you at work going on about them.
Yeah. You know what kind of toast I'm not? Dark.
Not burnt. But anyways,
not burnt.
So the whole point, and it got me thinking about the fact that somebody was able to take this and turn it into actually something interesting. So instead of just having a game where you're like, answer these questions and we're going to go ahead and tell you what type of toast you are, or I should say, tell us what kind of villain that you're facing. The way that the game works is you show up and you have a narrator, and he tells you, you're here to slay the princess, thus the name of the game. So you go up to a cabin, and when you get there, there's a knife on a desk and a door down to the basement. You can either choose to take the knife, or you can choose to go down without the knife. This is the first set of decisions that you have that start to shape the game for you. So...
Oh, okay. I see it. He's showing me Slay the Princess.
Mm-hmm.
Looks fun. Go on. So we're deciding whether we slay her or not.
Mm-hmm. And this is the spoiler part for the game. The character of the princess isn't a wrote-out character that is the same every time that you go down and talk to her. Every time that you go down, the decisions of what you think the princess is depends on how the game plays out. So if you take the knife and you're like, I'm going to go down there and kill her because she's supposed to end the world, so we have to kill her, then she takes on the form of someone that you need to kill because they're going to end the world. And if you don't take the knife and you go down there and you're like, well, if it's a woman chained up in a basement, maybe I can talk to her first. Maybe, maybe I've been lied to. And if you take that approach and go down there, she's somebody who is not dangerous to you and is not going to kill you. And you play this out through several different playthroughs because it kind of forces you to take different paths and whatnot.
Okay.
But I thought about the fact that this is done by a handful of people. Meanwhile, you have other forms of media that just they have billions of dollars behind them, like like Paramount's Halo. They have an already established IP with a large fan base,
and they hired a bunch of writers who don't give a shit about that.
Mm-hmm. They hired people that had not played the game. They didn't know the characters, and when they were asked by the
I said wake up! Get your ass up!
Sorry. Boy, this is like fucking warm milk. Put you right to sleep. Go on. Go on. We're on Paramount's, something about Paramount. I already forgot.
Oh, hold on.
Halo.
No. Yeah, I was going to say, don't tell him. Make him
Halo.
guess.
Yeah, I remember you got the helmet.
Yeah. But anyways, they hire a bunch of people that don't care about their IP. People had been asking for this since 2007. Every year you'd have somebody be like, hey, how come they haven't made a Halo TV show? I like the Halo TV show. I would watch it and pay money for merchandise. And they did that for, 17 years? 2007? 2024? Yeah, that sounds about right. So they did that for like roughly 15, 17 years. And then when they finally come out with the show, like I said, they hire people that do not care. And instead of having something that should have been like a blockbuster type event where you've got a bunch of people watching it, everyone's talking about it, they decide to write out a show that doesn't have anything to do with the actual game. They were like, we're setting this in an alternate universe. And it's like, if it's in an alternate universe, why do I care about it then? Why should I watch it? I want the one that I played for
17 years, you say? So they took long enough for all the 5-year-olds that got hooked on the game to get out of college and get real jobs so they can spend some real money on their shit?
No, it was the high schoolers and college people that were really into it. So
and then they were too old.
Really, what it sounds like is they were waiting 18 years old so that they could fuck the IP, but just couldn't wait that extra year.
Yeah, that's terrible.
No, I hate when they do these alternate shit. Because, like, to quote Patton Oswalt, it's just the same reason why he hated the prequel trilogy in Star Wars. Because he's like, hey, do you like Darth Vader? It's like, oh yeah, I love Darth Vader with the lightsaber and the voice. Yeah, you get to see him as a little kid. But I didn't want to see him as a little kid.
I didn't realize I wanted to see him as a little kid.
And then it's like, oh, the Death Star, it was blowing up planets. Well, now you just kind of get to see it being built. And they're just kind of looking at it.
We already saw one being built.
They're like, you know what this is.
But then he's like, hey, you like Angelina Jolie? She give you a big boner? Well, here's John Voight's balls that she swam out of.
What?
She's John Voight's daughter.
Because nobody wants to see John Voight's balls. Everyone wants to see.
I thought you were referencing a movie or something. I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
It's Patton Oswalt's thing.
Deliverance, you could be referencing that one.
Has wrestling ever done this, Corey?
What?
To get you more involved with the episode, has wrestling ever had questionable writing decisions made in it?
All the fucking time. Like wrestling, most of it is questionable writing decisions.
Yeah, what was it? Mae Young, when she gave birth to a hand?
She gave birth to a hand. It's like, hell, even at my level in the indies, questionable writing was, hell, that's just part of the damn show.
Well, that's how they got you in, right?
Like,
they're like, should we bring this guy in?
It's like, I mean, at least fucking 9-10 times a wrestling show at any level, you're like, why the fuck would they do that? I mean, it's just, that's part of entertainment as a whole is, why the fuck would they do that? Because they can't please you all the time, because then the times they actually do something good, it's, less impressive. It's like
setting low expectations.
Yeah, that's it. They do it to lower everybody's expectations, and honestly, it sounds like the Halo people were doing just that. I mean, they're lowering people's expectations because that way they don't have to try as hard.
I will say that is the one thing that they carried over from the recent games is lowering people's expectations.
That's what I'm saying. You like if you lower their expectations, when you finally do get it right, they're going to go off the fucking chain. Where if you just keep it consistently good all the time and they get used to that, the second you pull back an inch, they're gonna be like, "Fuck this shit! It's awful." That's just my 2 cents. What do I know? I mean,
when are they going to actually make some improvements to it, though? Because I know that you don't know anything about it. Casey might know some, but it's just been getting progressively worse.
They took Master Chief's fucking helmet off.
The only thing I know about Halo...
that wasn't Master Chief. That was Master Cheeks.
I guess, but...
No, okay.
It
What
was
does that mean?
shit.
That's some cutesy dork joke?
Oh, no, it's that in the video games, Master Chief is a stoic super soldier who goes in, gets the job done, and they're like, in the TV show, they're like, what if he was fucking a Covenant spy? And people are like, what the fuck? Because, of course, this show... The part that I don't get is, like, I don't understand what the show is supposed to do. Because, in theory, the show is supposed to drum up attention for the game. And then people will be like, oh, this show's cool. I want to go play the game. But then they go play the game, and the game doesn't have anything to do with the show, except that the characters have names that are the same.
See, my only knowledge
They
of
killed
Halo,
off... They made some of the characters. They blackwashed them. Which is normal for stuff nowadays.
Yeah, it's
but
very
then they
common.
removed one of the most iconic, coolest black characters in video game history and just didn't put him in the show.
Buckwheat? Oh, that
No.
wasn't a video game.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because that's something else that I don't get. Because you had Halo Combat Evolved all the way to Halo Reach. All of those stories are really, really good. And then Bungie went ahead and separated from Micro... What are you talking... Did you just say not 2?
Yeah.
No, 2 was great.
2 sucked.
You're retarded.
They brought in the fucking dual wielding.
No, you're retarded.
That was...
You're objectively wrong.
No, I'm not. Because objectively, they brought in the dual wielding, and it was a pain in the ass. And then they took the Magnum and turned it into a fucking pea shooter. And fuck that.
I'll give you that. The dual wielding was cool, but the
it
Magnum, nah.
They took the Magnum away.
Did you have 12-year-olds online beating you with dual wielding combos?
No, I had. No, actually, they had. They found this. They found a combo that you could do, where they would take the human battle rifle and then
The plasma pistol.
Yeah, the plasma pistol, and they would shoot you with the plasma pistol. And then they found if they switched immediately and hit you with a battle rifle, like it'd kill you in one burst. And so all it was just everybody going pew 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 pew. That's all it did over and over again. And so it just got annoying.
I feel like I'm the ball in the dorkiest game of Pong ever. Your turn.
My turn. But anyways, they had the writers from that were all good, and then Bungie left because they wanted to write Destiny and do that game. But Microsoft obviously is like, we can still get money off of Halo, so they half of the people from Bungie stayed to keep working on Halo, and then for some reason, I guess they lost all of the good writers with Destiny because Halo 4 through the current game, which is Infinite, the story's just been not good. And not that the writing is necessarily horrible, but the problem with... We talked about the Star Wars sequels, where they had basically 2 different people doing the director's stuff, and so the story seemed like it wasn't really coherent.
Because it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
That's been every Halo game post-Reach. It's been, this story's kind of interesting, and then you go to the next game, and it's like, we forget about that last game. This is the new thing now, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is a story, okay. And then you go to the next game, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about that story. Worry about this one now. And you're like, I can't get invested because every time you release a new game, the lore gets retconned.
What? Get what?
retconned.
What the hell's that mean?
We're gonna have to get you like a dictionary.
It's where they like rewrite the history.
Basically, it's like
you're gonna have to get me a dorktionary. Nothing. That'll run. But it sounds like they're just making it from the perspective of like somebody like Joe Biden, in that whatever he just throws at you, that's what we're gonna go with.
No, because then you would at least be able to say, all right, this is retarded, but at least it's consistent.
Is it consistent? You said it wasn't.
No, if Joe Biden was, it'd be ridiculous. You'd be like, that's crazy, man.
That's it. It's like just it like with Biden,
but at least
like none of his thoughts are connected. But he's consistent in none of his thoughts are connected. So yeah, I get you. Go on. I'm learning more about Halo and this video games and whatnot. Teacher. All right, fuck it.
I broke him.
He chose poor